Pokemon Go Fest Global is coming up next weekend, and with so much information flying around, there are some things that are a bit hidden and easy to miss. So in this video, I've compiled 15 things you might have missed about Global Go Fest. Firstly, I do want to mention the remote raid limit. I've seen quite a few people ask about this, and rightly so, because on the Global Go Fest part of the Pokemon Go website, it doesn't actually mention the remote raid limit in the bonuses. It is, however, mentioned for the Ancients Recovered event. From the 23rd to the 26th, the remote raid limit will increase from 10 to 30 for the day, and then from the 27th until the 29th, remote raids will be unlimited, and this includes Global Go Fest as well. So you will be able to remote raid Crown Zacian and Zamazenta as much as you want. But to transform the hero of many battles forms of Zacian and Zamazenta into their Crown forms, you do need Crown Sword and Crown Shield energy, which you can get from raiding them. But how many raids will it take to get the 1000 energy of each that you need to transform them? Well, if it's anything like Necrozma and Kyurem, you will probably get somewhere in the region of 80 to 170 energy per battle. So it's likely you will need to do between 6 to 12 raids of each, so between 12 and 24 total raids. Although if you do purchase the Global Go Fest ticket, this could be halved. This is because you will get access to a branching special research that allows you to choose the sword or shield path, and if it's like previous years, whichever path you choose will get you enough energy to transform the legendary that is tied to it. So for sword, you will probably get 1000 Crown Sword energy for Zacian, and for the shield path, you will most likely get 1000 shield energy for Zamazenta. And as well as the energy required to transform these Pokemon into their Crown forms, you will also need them to know Iron Head. And whilst it's not currently known whether or not Zacian and Zamazenta you raid during Global Go Fest will always come with the move Iron Head, it isn't a legacy move, meaning if you don't get it when you catch it, you can just use a regular charge TM instead of an elite charge TM to get the move on your Zacian and Zamazenta. So even if you are wanting to transform an old Zacian or Zamazenta that you've got, you will just need to use a charge TM to get Iron Head if you haven't got it already. And when you do transform one of these Pokemon, Iron Head will turn into Behemoth Blade for Zacian and Behemoth Bash for Zamazenta. And other than being very strong moves, there is another interesting application with these moves. So it has been data mined but not confirmed by Scopely that these moves will have adventure effects. So for Crown Zacian's Behemoth Blade, it does seem like it will increase the attack of Pokemon when battling a raid or a max battle. And Zamazenta's Behemoth Bash can increase the defense of Pokemon when battling in a raid or a max battle. And for more recent data mines, it is suggested that the attack boost and the defense boosts will be 10% in raids and 5% in max battles. And they will cost 5 candy and 5000 Stardust for 6 minutes of use, which will most likely be able to stack up to 24 hours if you have the resources to do so, like the other adventure effects allow. And it's not only the adventure effects that make these Pokemon special. So despite these Pokemon not being able to Dynamax, they are special in the fact that they can still be used in max battles. This is to do with how they work in the main series games. And in Pokemon Go, you can power up Behemoth Blade and Behemoth Bash like max moves, and you can unlock and power up Max Guard and Max Spirit on both Pokemon as well. And for Zamazenta in particular, if you unlock Max Guard on it, when it enters battle, it will start with a Max Guard shield already active, even without getting to the Dynamax phase and using Max Guard. Again, this is tied to the main series games, where Zamazenta has an ability called Dauntless Shield, which increases its defense when it enters battle. And worth noting that whilst they can be used in max battles, they can't actually be placed at power spots after the max battle to earn candy. So you are going to want to raid these as much as you can because they are relevant in raid attacking, in Go Battle League, and for max battles. So you will need a lot of candy to power them up, unlock their max moves, and upgrade their max move. And as I mentioned before, from the Ancients Recovered event bonuses, we will get unlimited remote raid passes, which will help this out a lot. But we are also getting some other bonuses from this event from the Global Challenge that will be active for Global Go Fest as well. Firstly, party power will be increasing faster, but even better than that, Premier Balls will be more effective at catching Pokemon after raids. This is a really useful bonus because it will allow us to catch Pokemon from raids quicker so we can enjoy other aspects of the event. It does also allow people to do more raids and raids faster, which is probably of a lot of interest to Scopely. And another easily missed piece of information for Zacian and Zamazenta is that they will actually be getting unique special backgrounds from raids during Global Go Fest. These can be seen in promotional material for the Ancients Recovered event, but the chance of getting these special backgrounds isn't currently known, but honestly they do look pretty nice. And outside of Zacian and Zamazenta, there are quite a few details about Pokemon Go Fest that you might have missed, and one of them is regarding the Golden Bottle Cap. So there will be a new Go Pass available starting during the Ancients Recovered event on the 23rd, and it will continue all the way up to the end of Go Fest Global on the 29th. And if you purchase the $20 deluxe version of the pass, you will be able to get a Golden Bottle Cap, and you can use this to hyper train a Pokemon of your choice, increasing their IVs as much as you want. Now the Golden Bottle Cap can increase all 3 IVs, but there is another type of bottle cap which is the Silver Bottle Cap, and like the Golden Bottle Cap, it does increase the IVs of Pokemon, but instead of increasing all 3 IVs, it will just be able to raise 1 stat of your choice. case. This, however, hasn't been confirmed by Scopely as coming to the game, but it has been data mined, so it does seem likely that it will come to the game at some point, probably part of a monthly pass in the future. But with the fact that the silver bottle cap only increases one stat, then it's probably more worth using the golden cap that increases all three stats on a Pokemon that wants all three stats raising, and using the silver bottle cap on a Pokemon that already has two stats maxed out, or if say you have 2 out of 3 IVs perfect for PvP and you want to train a third stat a little bit more to reach perfect PvP IVs. Also worth noting, in case you missed it, you can't use a bottle cap on a shadow Pokemon. Now, on the topic of bottle caps and the ability they possess to make hundos or even shundos if shiny, what exactly will the shiny rates for wild Pokemon be for Global Go Fest? Well, it all depends on whether you buy the Global Go Fest ticket or not. If you don't buy the ticket, the shiny rates will be the base shiny rates that they normally are, which is 1 in 512 for most Pokemon. But if you buy the ticket, the shiny rates will be increased to most likely 1 in 128, because the shiny rates are usually boosted to 1 in 64 for the in-person event, and unfortunately the global event shiny rates are normally a bit nerfed. And another difference between the in-person and the global event that you might have missed is the type of Pikachu that's available. So while the two types of Pikachu may look very similar, they aren't the same. For the in-person events, the Pikachu is this one, which is the formal Pikachu, and notably it is wearing a monocle. But for the global event, it is this Pikachu, which is Dapper Pikachu. This one isn't wearing a monocle, and instead it has more of a steampunk look with goggles over its top hat. And this one that appears for Global Go Fest will appear in 1-star raids, it won't appear in the wild. But there is a chance that these Pikachu will spawn from the snapshot photobomb encounters like last year, and they might also be in field research tasks as well if we're lucky. Worth noting that the train costume phalanx won't be in the wild either, but it will be in 3-star raids. And only recently announced, there will actually be event-themed 2km and 5km eggs available during Pokemon Go Fest Global. In 2km eggs will be Carablast, Shelmet, Golett, Pawniard, Vullaby, Pancham, Oranguru, Persimmon, and rarely blue, orange, red, and yellow flower Flabebe. Now, these eggs will be available to all trainers during Global Go Fest, but if you do have a ticket already, you can get early access to these eggs from June 23rd at 10 AM, and these early access eggs will have boosted shiny rates like those shiny rates that ticket holders will get during Global Go Fest itself. And for ticket holding trainers only, you will be able to receive event 5km of eggs that will be available from the 23rd at 10 AM all the way up until the 29th at 11:59 PM local time. And in these eggs, you will be able to get Togepi, Torkoal, Pachirisu, Mienfoo, Skiddo, Carbink, Goomy, Klefki, Jangmo-o, and Frigibax. And whether you get these eggs early access or you get them from Global Go Fest, they will have boosted shiny rates. And again, whilst not announced yet, like previous years, you will most likely be able to evolve certain Pokemon during the event to get featured legacy attacks. And for this year's in-person events, we have seen Pokemon like the following get legacy attacks. Matang into Metagross to get Meteor Mash, Gurda into Conkeldurr to get Brutal Swing, Croconaw into Feraligatr to get Hydro Cannon, evolving into a Selgor to get Energy Ball, evolving into a Scavalier to get Razor Shell, evolving into Blissey to get Wild Charge, Dusclops into Dusknoir to get Shadow Ball, Ursaring into Ursaluna to get High Horsepower, Vanillish into Vanillux to get Avalanche, and catching Snorlax that know Yawn, etc. This isn't a complete list because they haven't all been reported and because they weren't announced, and it differed for each in-person event depending on which Pokemon were spawning for that event in particular. So whilst not confirmed, in theory some of these will be the same for Global Go Fest, and there might be others based on the Global Go Fest spawn pool. So it is worth bearing this in mind, because last year Niantic never actually announced the featured legacy attacks for Global Go Fest, so it's likely they won't this year as well. Worth checking the event bonuses on the Today tab when Global Go Fest goes live on the 28th though, just to make sure that it says that you can get featured attacks through evolution. And if it doesn't, maybe keep an eye on any reports on social media, because the last thing you want to do is evolve something you've been keeping for an evolution legacy move only to not get that move. So double check before you do any evolutions. And worth noting that for any shadow Pokemon, they do need to have frustration removed already to evolve and get the move. The evolution move always goes into the first slot, so you can't just get a second attack and then evolve it to get the move. And remember, you can only remove frustration with a charge TM during a rocket takeover, so there won't really be an opportunity to remove frustration before Global Go Fest. And lastly, there will be global challenges and ultra unlocks. During each habitat hour on Saturday and Sunday, ticket holding trainers can work together to complete global challenges to unlock upgraded versions of upcoming events. If 15 of these challenges are completed, you will get access to Ultra Unlock 1, which will boost the Hisui Celebration event taking place from July 8th at 10 AM until the 13th at 8 PM local time. No details on this event just yet, but it is worth noting that there is a raid day taking place during this event on the 12th between 2 PM and 5 PM, and this will most likely be the debut of Hisui and Lilligant. Completing 30 global challenges will unlock a boost for the Steel and Scales event that runs from July 22nd at 10 AM until the 27th at 8 PM local time. And lastly, if trainers complete 45 global challenges, we will get a boosted version of Origin Raid Day that takes place on the 10th of August. And judging by the name, this must be featuring either Origin Palkia, Origin Dialga, or Origin Giratina. Or it could even be possible that it'll feature a couple of them or all of them. And if you want to know exactly what has been announced for Global Go Fest and some tips for it, then I recommend checking out this video on the screen now, and I'll catch you in the next one.